Okay, everybody, welcome back to our final call, at least for the time being, of how to teach yoga online. Again, thank you so much to everybody who has just been flooding me with beautiful emails about everything that they're working on and how successful you're all being. I have just had the nicest emails. Someone even sent me a poem. How nice is that? Thank you for my poem. And if I haven't replied to your emails yet, folks, I'm working on it. There is a little bit of a backlog, I must say. I'm not normally crappy at emails, but I have been a little bit crappy. So I have read them all, though, and I'm very, very grateful. And I'm just delighted that people are really implementing what it is that we've been talking about. And, super grateful to all of the guests. Don't you think that one of the biggest blessings that they've given us is just to let us know what their actual process is, to demystify it? Like, there's nothing special. They're fabulous, don't get me wrong, but there's nothing particularly special about any of the guests that I've had. They're just normal folks doing what they do and sharing it with everybody. So I think that's just been an incredible blessing, that people have been so generous with their energy and their insights and their wisdom, and prepared to share a little bit about the gaffes that they've made so that we can avoid them. So thanks also for people who have been contacting me to pass on gratitude to the guests. I have done that for you for sure. A couple of shout outs for people who are doing great things. I've just been speaking with Hannah. Hannah, I don't know if you're here, but I've just been speaking with, oh yeah, she is. I've just been speaking with Hannah, and who's in Berlin. She's from Radelaide. She's in Berlin, and she has a YouTube channel. It's called Real Yoga. While you're listening to me talk, I want you to go pull up YouTube and find her channel. Hannah said to me her target by the end of March is to have 300 subscribers. As of an hour ago, she had 212. I said I thought she could do better than 300 by the end of the month. So do me a favor, because I want to win this non-monetary bet with Hannah and get her up to the over the 300 mark by the end of the month. Her classes look amazing. I've yet to actually do one, but if you're looking for some classes, they're free on her YouTube channel. They look really good. She's also a dog person, so she gets the verified stamp from Amy on that front. I also want to say another person who's here and currently, I think, preparing herself some breakfast. Louise just told me that she did a 30-minute yoga nidra on the weekend, pay what you feel, and made £100. Hello, that's about $1 million Australian right now. Congratulations for you. And I also want to do a shout out to Rosie, who's also joining us here today, this morning, tonight, whatever. Rosie and I have just been chatting, and Rosie has been working on this workshop about how to teach chair yoga. You might have seen it in my Facebook group. Anyway, obviously, that can't happen in person, because nothing can happen in person anymore, except, as Hannah mentioned, making babies if you happen to have someone in your house that you can do that with. And we were talking about how there might be like a corona baby boom in some months. Anyway, so that's not, Rose and I weren't talking about that. We're talking about her chair workshop, and specifically about the possibility of teaching chair yoga to folks in care homes or supported accommodation, and how that might be a thing. So Rosie's working on translating her workshop into something that you can do virtually, and then perhaps also to consider offering it as something that you could offer virtually to other folks, people in care homes, where seniors, people who don't move a whole bunch, could use some chair yoga. The craft lady, the dog lady, the guy who comes to play the piano can't come anymore to the care home, but you might be able to zoom in with some chair yoga. So hit Rosie up, Yoga with Rosie on Instagram, to stay in the loop about that, as she's putting it together as we speak. So great offering, great idea, really something that's needed right now. So drop her a note so she can put you on the send me more information list as she pulls it together. Keep us posted, Hannah, with like updates. I want to see, it would be so fun if we had like a poll of how your numbers are going up while we're chatting. That's super fun. Rosie says she's just on her first Insta Live, and it took her a few attempts, but she's done it. Fantastic. And then Danny, I think I just can't scroll back up in the comments, has just said that she has had her first student sign up while we've been sitting here, or just before. So amazing. I just saw it just now on Instagram, Justine and Christine have been filming classes, looking very high tech up there in beautifulville, New South Wales. Congratulations. Yeah, and to everybody else who sent me notes that they're going, they're sharing, they're doing, well done, everybody. I hope you're feeling impressed with yourself. Bit late, says Jody. I know, right? Hannah said I should have a glass of wine, but then it would really be a shit show. I'm not one of those drunks. That'd be a disaster. Anyway, so today really is going to be our final call in this series. And what I thought was important to do was simply open it up for exactly this, more celebration and recognizing how far you've come in a very short period of time under fairly trying conditions, and also to answer any final questions that you have, or for anybody to share any insights. What have you learned along the way that you think might be helpful to other people? Really to have a conversation, because I feel like we've fostered a sense of community over this past week. So if you already have questions, could you go ahead and type them into the chat? Or if you have something that you would like to share, just again, type it into the chat and I can unmute you so that you can share with us, whether it's a learning, an insight. I know people have been sharing some great hacks that they've discovered as they've been implementing. So type into the chat and let me know. Something that's become apparent to me, a couple of things that have become apparent to me over the past week that I wanted to flag so that they don't trip you up and you're aware of them should they come up for you. The first one is that I have seen a surge in people offering stuff online, and I can't even respond to an Instagram message at the moment without having about 4 notifications saying this person's going live, this person's going live. There is a real surge of content being shared online at the moment. I want to, my sense of that is that, firstly, I want to make the point that just because everybody seems to be doing it at the moment doesn't mean you shouldn't. Like Kelly said on our first session, you know, you are the right person for the right teacher for the right people. You're not the teacher for everybody. You're simply the teacher for the people who want to learn from you. So never feel, just because there seems to be a lot, that there isn't a place for you. Your students are still looking for you. And so don't feel dismayed or disheartened because there does seem to be a lot more content out there. Similarly, there is a whole lot of stuff that's happening for free. One of the yoga studios that I follow here in Australia, I just saw now that they're doing free yoga classes on Insta Live tomorrow. To my way of thinking, they're a business that could absolutely charge for that service. And if I was their coach, I would be saying, girls, stop it, put a price on that. You don't need to offer it for free just because there's more stuff in the mix. So if you're feeling nervous about your pricing, hold firm. What you have has value. And the fact that people can have you teach them yoga in their own homes is a benefit. It's not devaluing your product, it's enhancing it. So please don't feel, if you're starting to feel the pinch because there's so much content and there's so much free stuff, neither of those things mean that you need to stop or you need to start charging less. There's been a little flurry of people contacting me saying, the studio in my town, the other studio in my town, they're charging nothing per class. Should I drop my rates? I don't think so. You know, we are going to transition through this phase. You are going to go back into probably what your business model that you had prior to this. You don't want to train your people that you're worth nothing over this period so that when you say, hey, it's me again, come on down, you have to actually get in your car and drive here and you have to pay 4 times as much. That's not going to be a great message when life returns to normal. So I don't feel, if you're feeling the squeeze on dropping your rates, don't do that. Check back into my Facebook community, drop me a DM on Insta, like get yourself back into the zone of understanding that in providing your stuff online, you're giving people an added benefit, an added convenience. And it's in no way devaluing what it is that you do. Similarly, some people have said to me over the past week, well, why would someone buy my classes online when they can get Yoga International or Glow or whatever for the price I'm charging for a single class, and they could get a whole month of classes? Again, what we've been talking about for the most part is live online classes, not streaming content. There are different products that when we talked to Taz about having an online studio, or we talked to Susan about doing her virtual retreats, what we were talking about is real-time classes that are happening online, which is very different from streaming, right? It's like you watching a play versus you watching Netflix. One's actually happening now, and the other one was pre-recorded. One is someone who's actually looking at you and saying, actually straighten your back leg, Amy, or no child's pose for you. I see you slacking off. Next round of Surya Namaskar B, thanks very much. Versus me just sat there watching Jason Crandell, because ain't no one holding me accountable. This is something I figured out about myself. I bought myself like weights because I'm not going to the gym. I've got most of the kit at home, but I needed some weights. Okay, I bought them. They're great. They're just sat in my bedroom. The only time I picked them up was to take them from the car to my bedroom. Turns out I need some accountability to do the stuff. Streaming doesn't work for everybody. So comparing yourself to a streaming service doesn't make sense because it's a very different offering. The summary here is, yes, there's a whole lot more. Yes, there's a whole lot of free stuff. Neither of those things mean that you need to devalue your service or feel disheartened that you haven't got something that's meaningful and valuable to share. Something else that's come up is this feeling of the load that this will give you in terms of customer service and managing tech support. In fact, just now I've been messaging with my neighbor who's asking me about how she sets up Zooms to keep doing her painting classes because she can't do them in person anymore. Lots of people are learning the technology. Chances are you're going to have a surge in your customer service email from people asking you, how does it work? What do I need? All of this sorts of stuff. So you're training your people how to use a different system. Please just know that that's going to be part of it until it's not. That will be something that will ease over time as people become more familiar with the technology and how to do things. But right now they might not. And the fact that you know how to do it, I don't know, for me, I kind of think that I'm fairly middle of the road technology. I'm not a great technology person. I kind of bumble my way through. But in some formats, actually, I know heaps more than most people. This guy that I'm dating, I said, we should have like a Zoom date. Like, and he's like, what are you even talking about? Like, how does that even, I'm thinking, what do you mean? You just turn on the camera and like we talk to each other. No idea. So your people probably are fairly behind you on the technology front, even if you don't think you're a technology person, and that may cause a surge in the amount of tech support and customer service that you're doing. You may not have thought you needed to do that. I'm having so many emails from people essentially saying, oh, you forgot to send me the email for day 2. You forgot to send me the email for day 3. Like, this MailChimp, baby, I'm not forgetting anybody. It's just that my email's gone to your junk folder. You're going to have a whole lot of that, whatever your version of that looks like. There will be more of that, but you can train your people to become more self-reliant. One of the things I recommend is if you find that you're sending the same email to people, actually you use this link and you can't get in there until I'm there and I'll be there 5 minutes before. Like, if you're sending the same stuff to people, keep those emails or those messages somewhere so that you can just cut and paste when you're getting the same question, so that you don't have to rewrite the same email every time. Further, what you would do in keeping those emails, what you'll develop is essentially a frequently asked questions set of responses that you could put on the sales page, that you could put into the automated email that comes out when people book in. So start thinking about how can you systematize what it is that you're doing to reduce your customer service load. Let me just check the messages. Okay, I'm going to have to come back to those in a second. And then the third thing that I wanted to mention is, as I've been saying all week long, it's really important that you're doing this work, because you are, you are, like we talked about yesterday, providing leadership, providing positivity, being an antidote to so much of the drama and the, the upregulating and the anxiety causing stuff that's out there right now. And that takes energy on your part. And so I know some of you have let me know that you're starting to feel the the early signs of not burnout, but let's just say fullness in order to keep things positive. And I want you to really honor that. Truth bomb, I had 2 more ideas for 2 more of these nights or mornings or whatever to show up and teach you, but I can't keep going. I need some time to not be doing this. I need to do what Amy's doing when she's not at work. And so this is the last night for that reason. I can't continue to show up and do good free stuff for people and record podcasts and random Facebook Lives and whatever if I'm not feeling really replenished myself. So the same is true for you. Check your energy levels. Honor where you're at. Yes, you do, as part of what you do as your profession, you do show up and you do provide some sunshine for people. You do express yourself with positivity. You do show leadership. You do show you are motivating, you are inspiring, and that is you at work. And when you're not at work, honor where you're at. Be with where you're at. Again, can't help myself, another dating analogy. I had to tell someone that I was dating. He thought he knew me because I didn't. He was stalking me on the internet. He'd watched all of my stuff. He thought I was this really gregarious, confident, extroverted woman. I'm like, dude, that's me at work. That's not what I'm like when I'm just sitting on the sofa with my dog watching Gordon Ramsay from 2006. I'm not that person. We can only show up and be the person we are at work if we support ourselves in the way that we need to when we're not at work. If you need to lose your mind, if you need to sob for a while, if you need to, I don't know, whatever the hell else you need to do, but whatever that might be for you, it doesn't make you less of a yogi or less spiritual or somehow inauthentic if you eat a packet of Oreos for dinner. I'm not saying that I did that. It wasn't technically dinner. It was mid-afternoon, but you get my point. Don't beat yourself up about supporting yourself in the ways that you need to. If you are feeling fucking in a funk and actually, you know what? Everything sucks right now. And I'm just crying for no good reason. If that's what's going on for you, honor it. Give yourself the space to do what you need so that you're taking care of you and you can continue to support your community. There's no merit, there's no special spiritual gains from burning yourself out because it's somehow more spiritual. Martyrdom, not spiritual, at least not in my tradition. So a reminder that you've all done so well, you've all come so far. I know some of you have overcome incredible sense of inadequacy or self-doubt or self-sabotage or negative thinking. You've overcome so much about what you thought you were capable of in order to maintain money coming in, contact with your students, being in service. Know that comes, you have paid for that energetically, and you might need to be topping up your account. What do you need to do to invest back into yourself so that this doesn't become some kind of like boom and then bust? What I'm interested in for your business continuity is how can you achieve a level of transition from in-person to online and maintain it for the duration in a way that continues to let you feel great, let you feel like you're being in service, show up at a level that you expect of yourself with your students, and still feel like you, be well, be grounded, find spaciousness in your personal life when you're not teaching. So here the summary is, know that you've injected a bunch of additional energy, learning something new, challenging yourself, being visible in whole new ways, that comes at an energetic price, combined with just the nature of reality at the moment is additionally taxing. Just check yourself and make sure that you have dialed up the self-care in whatever way that looks like, dialed up the self-care to support yourself to be replenishing what you've drawn down. We're all drawn down on the energy, the prana account here. Let's not get it into the red. What do you need to do to boost it back up so that you can continue to be consistent and not putting, as a yoga teacher, you are your biggest business asset and your biggest business risk. How can you protect yourself so that you're mitigating those risks and protecting the asset? All right, let me check in with the chat. That was essentially my pep talk. That's what I wanted to cover. That seems to, the themes that have come up. Oh, man, why are you being such a pain in the bums in chat? Give me the slider. Really? Grab it. Okay, let's see. So keep typing in if you have comments, if you want to share something. I want to see it. D says, real yoga, more info please, as a few to choose from. Oh, D, look for the channel. It's got Hannah's face in a circle, then you'll know you've got it. Anything that looks like Sadhguru, she doesn't have a grey beard, at least she'd shaved it when we spoke. So round circle with a fabulously friendly looking woman's face in it. Oh, and she's already shared the link, so there you have it. Danny says, Amy, do I need to pin myself during recording a live class so that I am in front and center in the video rather than the gallery view recording? What I would recommend, I think, Danny, you can actually adjust the recording settings on your account to record in one way and then display it in another way. But you might want to do a trial to check, because you would want to have gallery view so that you can see everybody, but you would want the recording to just be you. So check if you can do that. Ideally, that's what you'd want to do. Rosie says, I've just had my first sign up for Nidra Restore, charging the same as I do when I host them in my home. Yes, you do. Excellent. And I'm really, again, I love what Taz reminded us about doing each other's classes. I saw Jody and Karen, I don't know if you've done classes together, if you're just chitty chatting, but that was nice. I like it when you all get together. D says, I was notified all students and many are super keen regarding online. I have the paid version with Zoom and I've had a trial. The first one went well. The next I couldn't get to work. Any tips? Don't know, D. I have no idea why it worked the first time and not the second. You must have changed something for it not to work the second time, but without being at your house and looking at your computer, I'm not sure. If you can get more specific, I might be able to help you out. I'm feeling this, never work so hard at the moment. Yes, I hear you, and like, do what you got to do. Manage it so that you can continue. Like I said, I was going to do this for another couple of days, but it was unrealistic for me to still be able to be in service to my clients, work on the paid part of my business for my own livelihood, because that's a thing. So, if you need to manage what it is that you're doing so that you're not over-invested, have at it. It's really important that you protect yourself, which is different from flaking out. Honor your commitments. That's just being a good yogi, but manage your commitments to things if you need to. Hannah says, this message is so important. Barbara says, I haven't stopped since the whole debacle started. I'm exhausted. I've never been so busy. Well, I don't mind busy as long as it's productive. Exhaustion sucks the big one. So it sounds as though everybody needs to do everybody's restorative mindfulness, whatever yinnies things that we're all offering, take some time off. Like, what needs to happen so that you're not feeling maxed? I hear you, Barbara, says Louise. Rosie says, I'm doing a daily 15-minute yoga nidra to try to keep my prana, I don't think she means prune levels up. Yeah. I couldn't keep my prune levels up because I'd have to go back to the supermarket and all the dried fruits sold out. Everybody who's a prepper is going to be really regular. Damn you. Share the fruits. Hannah says, I can't afford to put... Oh my God, Hannah's just dropped the best dad joke of all time. I thought I held that trophy. Hannah says, can't afford to put your prune levels up with a loo roll shortage. Boom, boom, tish. I'll take it. Should be a prize for that. Karen, hey Karen. Karen says, hi everyone. I was chatting to Jody on Zoom to get better at using Zoom and just for face-to-face connection and chat. I think I need to keep it simple and just use my laptop for Zoom. Drop the idea of using phone and laptop at the same time. I need simple right now to keep calm. Yes, this whole thing, us all coming together, was simple AF. Like, people just need what you got. Doesn't have to be fancy right now. Jody says, I'm really excited now about this. I'm going to do fewer classes. Couldn't help myself, Jody. I'm a grandmother person. I've got newbies waiting to start so they can do yoga with their friends and will normally practice with me. Yes. I don't know if you saw on my Instagram. I can't remember whose account it was. It was shared by somebody else. But I shared in my stories. Go find my Instagram, Amy Yoga Biz Coach, and look at my stories. If you're on the replay, it's probably already gone by now. But it was a video of this Zumba chick in America. Like, she has this huge big speaker and a megaphone, and she's teaching Zumba classes to her neighbors who are, you know how Americans don't, like Australians, we have fences and we have hedges and you don't see into my backyard. They don't do that in America. They're like, whatever, this is my property, that's yours. So she's standing on the veranda in a back deck teaching this Zumba thing, and they pan the camera around and you can see people in all the houses in her little subdivision. They're all on their decks doing her Zumba class from like across the way. It's just so cool. So yeah, it doesn't need to be fancy. Everybody got out on their deck with this woman doing Zumba on a megaphone, and they had some fun. You know, this people need to feel connected, and they don't need to feel like they're in something super fancy. They're looking for reliable, they're looking for familiar faces, they're looking for people who get them, you know, people who are doing the same good behavior that they're doing, staying at home, doing what they're told, and being around people who are doing all of those things as well. Dee says she saw that video. It was really cool, wasn't it? Yeah, totally cool. And, you know, again, this doesn't just have to be for the people that you're already serving. A bunch of you have let me know that brand new people are signing up for your things because they're looking for exactly what it is that you're doing. Okay, so questions, feedback, anybody stuck with stuff? What can I help you with in our last get together for this, for right now, about getting going with teaching online? What do you need from me that might be useful at this time? What you got? I'll open my inbox and do some more shout outs while I'm waiting to see. Is it about marketing? Is it about copywriting? I'm really good at that. Putting on ads. What do you need? What can I help you with? Let's see what questions I have. Feeling guilty over the idea of asking people to pay for a virtual class. Good news. This gets to be part of your yoga, processing why that might be a factor. The question I would have is, why wouldn't they pay? Why wouldn't they pay? What is less valuable for people right now about having you come into their homes in a safe way and teach them some yoga? How is that not incredibly valuable? And if you still if you can't do, you know, if anyone else is feeling like that and feeling guilty, I want you to really borrow energy from everybody else in this forum who is doing it and is feeling good about it. If you don't trust yourself yet, if your own inner dialogue about money mindset, permission to charge, charging what you're worth, if that still needs some work, if that's if your stories from about money and charging are coming to the fore right now and impacting your ability to transition to online, that work is going to be there for you to do, and you might even have the time shortly to get some of it done. But in the interim, please borrow the faith that I have that your classes are worth the money, and that everybody else in this forum also knows to be true about your classes. The fact that you're still keeping on providing a service has huge value, and we know that to be true. So borrow our faith until you can grow your own. And you can totally be there and help them through the power of your computer. Yeah, Rosie says you can still give verbal cues. You better believe it. Like if I was, can you imagine people who have done my classes? I'd be all over you just because you're behind a screen, baby. I can still see that you are not engaged in those triceps. It's strange because I support you guys in charging. Yeah, it's just because it's your story. That's okay. This is what yoga is all about. Identifying those stories. It's the Varuna principle. Digging that shit up, processing it, moving ahead. We've just identified another story. Great opportunity for more yoga. And while you're doing the healing work on the story, borrow our faith. Charge the hell out of it. It's worth it. Jody says, I plan on doing just some very short Facebook Lives for those who can't pay. Those who choose not to pay. But the plan is to encourage them to the paid classes. Yes, because guess what? You're also a small business who is hit upon hard times. The difference is you're choosing to think laterally and still provide a service and do what you need to do to maintain as much as possible business continuity. That is a blessing and a privilege for sure, but it doesn't mean you can afford to forego your own income. Great chat, everybody. Let's see what else I've got here. Sarah, hey Sarah. Sarah in New Zealand says, due to New Zealand being a bit behind the rest of the world with COVID-19 infections, I was a few days late starting this series. So I've had day one, but when then I went straight to the phone. How do I access the others? They're all on. They're all on all of the videos. If you've missed any of the calls, they're all on the video tab of my website. And as of tomorrow, they will be on my YouTube channel as well. So if you want to know when I've dropped them on my YouTube channel, you have to subscribe to it. My YouTube channel is called Amy McDonald, and you'll know you found it because it looks like this. No logo, just my head. Yeah, Jody says, we've all got bills to pay. Yeah. And God damn it, I need some extra money coming in because I want to sign up to all of your classes. Yes, and the only place that delivers food where I live is Domino's. So I've got the whole vegan range to eat myself through once I've eaten all of my own doomsday prepper food. I'm kidding on that. It's not really going to happen. Okay, who else? Questions? What else you got? If people want me to take a look at sales pages or promotions that you're running, how else can I help? What other final tweaks do you need to feel like you've got this and you've got enough to go get going? Or if you've already started, what else can I help you with? What's the next thing? Are you going to do your own mini retreats? Do you need to talk about transitioning to teacher trainings online? What else do people need support with from me for today? Ugh. Any other questions? All right, if there's no more, keep the questions typed. Keep typing the questions in if you haven't yet. But I also want to hear celebrations. I also want to know, what are you most proud of? In fact, this would be great. What of everything that you've implemented, and it doesn't matter where you're at compared to anybody else because we don't do that here, but based on what you've done for your business over the past, when did we start? Thursday, over the past week. I want to know from everybody, what are you most proud of? What have you learned about yourself in this process? What are the boons that you've received as a result of starting to make this transition from in-person business to online business? Type into the chat what you got. Karen says, I'm still unsure, but I want to support those who are struggling financially. About the pricing. Great. YouTube is fab. YouTube is fab. What else are people, what are you most proud of that you've got done for yourself? Tess says, so far, just getting on Zoom and organizing online classes to my students. I never thought I'd do that. Tess, I love that. I love the message you sent me about, you know, that this has compelled you to do something that you've been putting off for a while. I think that's just great. Congratulations. Who else is really proud of something? Jodi's feeling the same. Yay. Yeah. Actually, you don't have to be like fancy pants, supermodel, whatever other thing you thought you had to be. You just have to like get an account and press the go button. High five, Jodi. Yeah. Barbara says, waking up every day with a new creative idea. Barbara, I'm loving on that. Finally understanding. Yes, good, Jodi. You don't have to be perfect. People just want you, and bless them, right? I think that all the time, really. But apparently, yeah, you just have to show up and do you. Danny says, I'm stoked to have learnt so much great technology this week. Amanda and I, GYYB besties, we're celebrating how comfortable we are in front of the camera thanks to our 2 years of practice after GYYB3. Huzzah. Love that. Not only confident, but fabulous. Sorry, fabulous. Hannah says, I'm so proud of doing this. These courses and signing up to your social media course, investing in myself and my business. Sehr gut, Hannah. I agree. Dee says, I'm proud I have started. I just need a few more trials and plays, but I like the idea of teaching at home. And I know some of you, sneakies, have said that maybe this is how you're going to train your students, that this is how they actually engage with you forever on. That the online thing was something that was kind of a dream that you thought wasn't possible. Turns out you're now doing it, and maybe you're going to keep on doing it, virus be damned. I love that. Karen says, save on petrol. Yeah, no joke, Karen, no joke. Natalie says, I literally just recorded my first yoga nidra. Yes, in the wardrobe. Now to work out how to best share that with the world. I also signed up to Zoom and hope to hold my first online class by the end of the week. See, you're all amazing. Just put it into Dropbox or Google Drive, Natalie, and share the link. Easy. Or depending on the file size, you could send it as an email attachment. Yeah, super good. All right, so if that's what you're most proud of, next I want to know, what have you learned about yourself in the process? What has having to make this transition, or choosing to make this transition, taught you about yourself? What have you learned in the process? I want to know that, because, you know, not that we seek out adversity, but there are always gems to be found in overcoming adversity. What have you learned about yourself in this process? For better or worse, something that you're still working through, something that you've mastered, it doesn't matter. But what have you learned about yourself in the process? It might also have been something that's been mirrored back to you by your students. Danny says, I've had the real opportunity to experience a beginner's mind. Nice one, Danny. Yeah, I like that. I like that. I think for me, I learned that harebrained idea I had one night actually was very helpful to people. And I have created a platform where I can help people easily and have fun. That was awesome. Super awesome. Rosie says, I have the tools I need to get through this, spiritual as well as technical. Hello, like, we are so kitted up with tools from like being yoga people. Yes, Rosie, I love that. It's nuts. Jody says that I am not competing with anyone, that my students actually do want me as their teacher. Who knew? Barbara says, I can be very enthusiastic, but also get something very quickly overwhelmed. I think I'm taking a punt. I lost it. Hannah says, I've never been so committed to my personal practice. Nice one. Thanks for the reminder, Hannah. So many great teachings going on online. Once again, yoga's there to get me through. Yes. Natalie is loving the mantra, done is better than perfect. Jai. deflated in the process. Thanks, Barbara. All good for you. Rosie, also, I've learned that I can now connect with former students who have moved to another country from my students in Singapore. You are not the first person, Rosie Dean, that has said to me that they're finding that all of these students are coming back. One of my clients yesterday was saying that she's had more people. In fact, let me tell you about this. My clients, Jess, she put in a free training. She had 100 people sign up, a free meditation relaxation. 60 people joined that thing. 60 people joined that thing. And a bunch of them were from people that she met teaching retreats like from years prior. So yeah, I love that you get to reconnect with people. That's great. Yeah, so cool, right? So cool. All right, so what have you learned about yourself in the process? Okay, next question for everybody is, I like this. I thought it was going to be a Q&A where you ask me the questions, but now I'm just asking you the questions. The next question is, what do you need to do? And this one's important. What are you going to do to protect yourself energetically as the as the reality of working in this way sets in? What are you doing to maintain or recharge your energy going forward? So what is on the list of things to do that are going to feel really good to you so that you can continue to serve in this way? Surf, Tessa's surfing. Karen says, yeah, Karen, what's your answer? I know it's a really bloody good question. Louise Kelly's in the house. Watch your other videos and get some better tech happening. At the moment, it's done is better than perfect, so make it a bit more pro. If you need to, Louise, your space is beautiful. You got a phone. More walks with my dog while I still can, says Rosie. Louise is taking at least one full day off a week. Yes, Jai for that. Getting in the garden for a break. I've learned to trim the box hedge like... Danny, if only you could fly, I'll get you to come down and do mine. Disaster zone. Well, I'll keep connecting with other yoga teachers and my morning yoga time. Yeah. Tess says, if I can't surf, I'll break my neck learning to skateboard. I don't know if you want to be like loading up the medical system with a broken neck right now, but hey, your body. Plant my seeds, actual seeds, not metaphorical. Either. I'm supportive of either. That loops us back to the conversation earlier. Some sunshine for out there in Gippsland for Jody. This is really important stuff. You got to walk your talk. You've got to protect yourself. You can only serve when your cup is full. Rosie says, I've bought a book called Roots of Yoga. It's taken me a week to get through the video. I was going to make a really inappropriate joke then about fallen gurus and ethics. I won't. You get it already. Someone's got to do a spoof video on that though. The roots. Here's my roots of yoga. Anyway, yeah, I heard that it's sunny in the UK and that everybody's being naughty and going out for picnics when they should stay at home. Dee is going out in nature every day, walking the dog. Today I started a veggie patch, fertilized the lawn. I'll take it. Yes, being outside is super important. So well done, everybody. I'm loving all of those. Okay, next. How are you going to stay connected moving forward? So we've just been sort of celebrating that Jody and Karen just had a Zoom to practice with Zoom, but also just to hang out and talk about being a yoga teacher currently. How are you making sure that your network is supporting you? Is there someone that you've connected with in these calls? Some names that you've seen come up a couple of times, someone that you could reach out to? Maybe, you want to type now, if you're here with me live, type into the chat your Insta so that people can connect with each other. I don't think, in fact, I'm just going to declare it. On behalf of the group, I'm declaring that everybody feels very comfortable reaching out and saying to everybody else, hey, have you got a minute? I'd love to learn a little bit more about how you did this thing. So I'm deciding on behalf of everybody that we've all got permission. We're all giving each other permission to ask each other to connect. And we're all giving each other permission to say, I can't now, I'm maxed. We're all giving each other and ourselves permission to say no. So let's keep the conversation going by staying connected with everybody. Natalie, I missed getting to your class, by the way. I didn't say this, the Bendigo Yoga Festival. Like we had a clash or something. I really wanted to come. Okay, so connect, jot them down, get your phone out, follow everybody back. Like, let's support each other, keep the conversation happening. And please just reach out to each other and know that if someone else, don't second guess it. If you've seen someone here who's asked a great question or if I've mentioned somebody that's had a great result, send them a voice memo on Instagram and say, hey, would I be able to WhatsApp you for 20 minutes over the next week? I'd love to talk to you about how you did blah, blah, blah. Because they can either say, sure, or they can say, actually, no, I'm really managing my energy right now. Rewatch Amy's second video. And you get to go, okay, in either direction. So great boundaries here, but definitely don't feel like you're out there on your own. You're struggling through the wilderness trying to figure it all out. There's been literally there's 1,200 people that have signed up and watching these videos. Like, there are people out there who you can talk to. Yeah, Natalie, next time we'll work the schedule better so that we can get to each other's classes. I love it. Okay, let me just see if I've missed anything else. Some great offerings of help there. Thank you, everybody. I just think that that's fabulous. Yeah, and thanks to everybody who just put really nice things into my Facebook group about this series and how they found it to be beneficial. I really appreciate that a lot. I'm loving all of the positivity. I'm also really grateful for everybody intentionally keeping the conversation positive, particularly in my Facebook group. I'd already decided that if there was any drama or, health kind of alerts or anything like that, I was going to delete it. And I haven't had anything like that. So, yeah, thank you so much for all keeping the vibration really high. Karen, tell us how you do that. Karen says she's just figured out with Facebook Lives how to flip the video so it's not all back to front. I remember teaching this amazing class. I even went to Officeworks and I bought a whiteboard because I was going to be profesh. I was going to have a whiteboard and it was going to be great. And the whole whiteboard was back to front. These things happen. Awesome. Okay, folks, there's a tiny icon in the bottom right corner before you hit live. Karen, lifesaver. I love that stuff. Excellent. All right, I am going to wax lyrical for the next couple of minutes about the 2 courses that I'm enrolling that you should sign up for. Like, I'm just telling you like I see it. Number 1 is Social Media Confidence for Yoga Teachers. If you haven't done it, it's a no-brainer. Like, please sign up, do this course. It's a 4-week training to get you confident on social media. It's got Instagram and Facebook primarily and how to do video. I'll teach you the 5 different types of posts that you should be doing, how often, all of that good stuff, how to schedule stuff and use things multiple times so that you're not losing your mind generating content. And we talk about TikTok, and we talk about YouTube, and we talk about LinkedIn. And it's not overwhelming, and it is fun. And if you haven't signed up yet, you're losing your mind. Please go sign up. Also, because if you sign up in the next 24 hours, I think we're down to about 24 hours, you also get a free coaching call with me. And Rosie and Hannah have already had theirs. Where to take action, ladies. So if you like the idea of having a 45-minute one-to-one session with me, you get that as a freebie. Get in it if you haven't done it yet. The link is amymcdonald.com.au/social. Sign up we don't start for a week, but please sign up in the next 24 hours so I can give you the free coaching. Rosie says it was a really useful 45 minutes. Phew, I'm glad, Rosie. Danny says, I'll see you in the Facebook ads class. I'm looking forward to that. Thanks, Danny, for a segue. Yeah, the other class that's enrolling is my brand new, you haven't taught it before, super excited about it, 4-week Facebook ads know-how for yoga teachers. So we're going to do the basics. Then we're going to, over the 4 weeks, increase your capacity. You're going to implement as you go. You'll have the training with me as well as the Q&A call every week. That means we get to actually look at your data in real time and see what's working. I am seeing incredible results from Facebook ads right now. Why? Because people are at home consuming more content. So if you're looking to grow your following, get more people on your mailing list, have more people come to your online classes, chances are you need to know what you're doing with Facebook ads. I know what I'm doing with ads. I'm actually quite good at it, if I do say so myself. In fact, I can confidently say that because last year I hired someone to do it for me and she was crap and I paid her a whole bunch of money. Anyway, you live and learn. You should get on that, particularly if you've already done the social media confidence course. 2.0 is Facebook ads know-how for yoga teachers. The link for that one is amymcdonald.com.au/Facebook ads. So there's 2 courses. They're both awesome. Let me type into the chat the links if I can pull them up. If you're not signed up for them yet, like, please stop it. Sign up. It's a ding-dong investment for the value you get. And moreover, like, I really just think that you need to be hanging out with us right now and staying high vibe. And like, for real. I think that's valuable in and of itself. Here's the other link. Check them out. The social media confidence does come with the free coaching, but only for the next 24 hours. So if you're getting that, you need to get that. Danny says, hanging out here has kept me sane and totally motivated. Danny, that is going to continue, honey, when we get started with the Facebook ads. And the reason that you haven't got the orientation materials yet is because Amy decided to host a telesummit. Life will return to normal tomorrow. I'm going to sign up for both, says Tess. Love it. Brilliant. We'll sign up now, says Barbara. Yes, girl, you will. Louise says, does the ads come with free coaching or that's only the social media? It's only the social media that comes with the free coaching, Lou. The Facebook ads course will be different in the sense that there will be fewer people in it so that I can be more specific about looking at your campaigns. At least that's my intention. So hopefully you'll get the coverage, if you like, the attention that you need. Having said that, Amy has been known to throw a random bonus in at the last minute, so it might happen. I just only have so much time, so depends how many free sessions I give away for social media confidence if I offer it as a bonus for Facebook ads. Girl's only got so much time, even when she is sat at home having eaten all of her snacks and has radically caught up on all of her streaming platforms. Anything else then, folks? Like, let me say it one more time. Sign up for my courses. Like, don't be crazy. Do it. Like, just don't be crazy. Do it. There's never been a better time. If you're not crushing it on social, there's never been a better time to sort that shit out. Get on the course. You need to be there. And we'll just have fun and be geeky with each other. Although I don't think anybody could beat the geek factor on Hannah's joke about the prunes and the loo paper. Highlight of my career, I've got to say. This has been great, Amy, says Dee. Back at you. Good luck with everything that you're working on, everybody. And, keep me posted. Particularly, I will take an Instagram voice memo about a good news story any day of the week. So if you have achieved something you did not think was possible, if you have impressed yourself, if you are like jive-fiving yourself and you want to share that with somebody who gets it, send me a note. I love hearing from everybody and knowing that you're choosing to create business continuity for yourself, I think is incredible. You are manifesting your own blessings, right? When Louise told me that she put on a 30-minute yoga nidra, pay as you feel, and I thought, oh, man, she might have made like 15 quid. That's nice. And then she says she made 100 pounds. Like, that stuff blows my mind. I just think that you're all fantastic. And as much as you're all fantastic, I promise you, there is nothing particularly special in the business regard about any of you. And what I mean to say is, there's no reason why you can't. If anybody else here can, So can you. You're just not that special that this is not going to work for you as well. So feel good about what it is that you're doing, because you're helping people, you're being in service, you're not capitalizing on a shitty situation. You're just saying, hey, I've got what you need. Would you like it? I'm worth something. Let's do an exchange. That's what's going on. People always have the option to say no. People always have the option to go do all the free stuff if they want to. It's not exploiting a shitty situation. It's simply offering the service that you've had all along that is now in greater demand. That's what's going on. I'm pretty sure toilet paper manufacturers aren't feeling bad about selling more toilet paper. They're like, you know what, we shouldn't sell so much. It's bad that there's this bad situation. The hand sanitizer people aren't going, I don't know, we probably shouldn't send out more stock. You know, we should just send out the normal. No, people are like, shit, okay, I got the stuff. You want to buy it? That's what's going on. Jody says, will the ads course time okay with getting our online stuff going, do you think? Oh, it's 5 to 10, isn't it, Jody? Between the two of us, I'm going to decipher, I'm going to decode your message. Will the ads course time okay with getting our online stuff going, do you think? Did you use Google Translate to make that sentence? Yes. I think what you're saying is, will the Facebook ads course start in time so that it will support me to entice more people into my online offerings? If that's what you meant, yes. Quarantine period dependent, business plan dependent. For example, ScoMo decides, oh, fuck it, let's all just go back to normal in 2 weeks. And you think, great, I'm just going to go hire all those halls again. Then no. Facebook ads course will be too late. But I don't think that's going to happen, for better or worse. I suspect that the timing is going to be awesome. Louise says, do you think it's best to pause a rebrand? Girl, you are not rebranding. It only feels like a rebrand to you. Everybody else, it's still the same. Everybody's still looking at your face and the pictures of the ocean and your cool mats and your oils. It feels like a big rebrand to you. It doesn't feel like that to anybody else. As long as you're renaming accounts and not starting accounts over, no one's going to notice. They're still just looking at you. If it means you have to drop a whole lot of cash and that's no longer the right time for you to do that, that's something to reconsider. But the Surfside Tribe to Louise Kelly situation, it feels big to you. It's going to feel very seamless to the people in your community, I promise. So no, I don't think you need to pause it, unless of course completion looks like you dropping another few $1,000s and your other income streams have slightly atrophied, given, I don't know, how much On Guard can you sell before people don't need it anymore? I don't know. Yeah. All right, I think I'm going to do one last call for questions. Oh, look at this. Someone signed up for some smart person signed up for social media confidence for yoga teachers. Let's find out who it is. This is fun. On Guard sold out. I bet. Oh my God, I bet. Barbara. Yes, Barbara's in the gang. We're going to have fun, Barbara. Any other questions before we finish it up, folks? Before I end the Zoom, I want you to scroll back up through the chat and make sure that you've seen everybody's Insta and that you're following them all, so that you can keep the conversation is absolutely keeping on going. The afterglow is happening in my Facebook group, but if you want to connect with the people that you've been seeing contributing during the conversation, make sure you have their Insta. You're welcome, everybody who's saying thank you. All right, I think we're done. Okay, so to summarize, overall for a rapid fire week of spontaneously arising training, the people that I've had on as guests are just slightly further down the road than you. That's all. And you get to fail forward. Give yourself permission to fail forward. I was lying in bed this morning and sort of prepping myself to get up and teach a thing. And I was thinking that, you know, there are no mistakes in business. There's no such thing as a mistake. There's no such thing as getting something wrong. And I'm not talking about queuing asana. Of course, you can like do something stupid and whatever. I'm talking about in the business end of this stuff. You can't get it wrong. All you're doing is gathering data and making better choices each time. So give yourself permission to fail forward. Figure out what works by fucking it all up so that you know clearly what doesn't. Like that gets to be the way that you learn. It's not a mistake. It's just figuring it out. Fail forward. Don't hesitate because something is imperfect or you're uncertain about it. It might not work. I didn't know when I had my guests on because normally when I've done these in the past, they haven't been live. I've interviewed people and then given you all the links. Never done this live before. And I've never done it as just a meeting. Normally I use the webinar function. So when Kelly showed up for our first session, I had no idea how that was going to look for you all. I was saying just before, you know, I taught a 90-minute training this morning on social media, and that I put a lot of work into this presentation and getting all the people there and whatnot. And I don't know how they did it, but someone wrote on my slides remotely and I couldn't delete it. And it was there for the whole time. And if you watch the video on my Facebook page, it's still written on there. Someone like graffitied on my slides. I mean, it was positive. It wasn't like a dick picture or something, but it was still there the whole time. I couldn't get it off. Doesn't matter. Doesn't matter. The transmission still comes through. It's all good. So give yourself permission to fail forward. Figure it out as you go. Just keep sharing. People need what you have. And in the process, it's very, very important that you do whatever it takes to stay well. And I'm not talking about washing your hands and staying at home. You've got that bit. I'm talking about what do you need to do to feel connected? What do you need to do to feel grounded? What do you need to do to feel spacious? And what do you need to do to actually be with how you really feel and not how you're showing up energetically for your family, your students, whomever else you're interacting with? Really, really honor where you're at and give yourself what you need so that you can continue to serve because your people need you. Jody says, thanks for all the knowledge and encouragement. You're welcome. Of course. It's been so much fun. All right, I'm going to finish this up. Take care, everybody, and be on the lookout for some more free stuff from me. I did ask who would be interested in like Bhagavad Gita study group, because why not? And I know Laura has said she's in. She's already asked me for a reading list. So if anyone else is interested in like Bhagavad Gita study group from a tantric perspective, and not a sex, someone said not the sexist one. Rosie, was that you? From a tantric perspective, let me know. Hannah says, go have that wine. You've earned it. Unfortunately, Hannah, I am in the camp that chose toilet paper over wine. Did you know? Oh my God, I heard this. There is a, you know, pica, the condition. I thought it was just that you ate dirt. Some people have it where they eat toilet paper. Like, that's a real thing. Oh my God, Laura Wynn, when did you get here? We were just talking about you today in a good way, in how inspiring your social media is. Yes, says Bhagavad Gita, says Karen. Excellent. Cool. Maybe I'll go ransack the neighbors for a wine, Hannah. Natalie says, totally motivated. Still got to go back through a couple of recordings. This has been so good. Thanks, Amy. You're welcome. Us regional Victorians have got to stick together. Louise says, readings, please, when you have a moment. Oh, for the Gita? Watch this space. Rightio, folks. Take care. Be well. And I'll see you all soon somewhere. Actually, sorry, I keep doing this actually thing. I did a post on my Instagram today asking for people to share the link to the sales pages for their online classes. So if you have a drop-in option, you've heard my confession about the weights. They're just really just, I don't know, like making me look impressive in the bedroom, sat there on the floor. I need accountability. I want to come to your classes. If you have a drop-in option for your online classes, find that post of me doing some stupid handstand thing on Instagram, type in the link. I'll swing by. Bye, everybody. Take care.